A madman is not someone who has lost their reason, but someone who has lost everything but their reason. These are their motives.
Freeze. Freeze!
In this installment of Madman Motives, we're looking at Dr. Victor Freeze, better known as Mr. Freeze from Batman the Animated Series, in the episode Heart of Ice. The most interesting characters have compelling stories, as conflict is the genesis of life.
The attacker's motives remain unclear.
Understanding the motive behind a madman is the story. We can define motive as some inner impulse or sentiment which causes a desire in a person to act. I have always found the madman more fascinating than the protagonist, who usually represents conforming to social norms, whereas the madman dismisses them, neglecting his malfeasance. This video unpacks the motive behind the madman that is Mr. Freeze. In a city of corruption, one offender is chilled to his bones, and it is the motives of this madman that makes him colder than the rest. So, who is Freeze?
That's Mr. Freeze to you.
At his core, Mr. Freeze is the cold-blooded.
We got company!
Keep your mind on your business. I'll handle this.
Depressed.
I failed you.
Romantic. Yes, romantic.
The snow is beautiful, don't you think? Clean, uncompromising,
and cold. There's only one man who'd hate Gothcorp that much, if he were alive.
My name is Dr. Victor Freeze. I am recording what I pray will be mankind's first step toward immortality. Behind me you see the CC-100, a cryogenic freezing chamber of my own design. I created it for the express purpose of freezing subjects stricken with inoperable ailments. Subjects like my own beloved wife, Nora.
From the beginning, Mr. Freeze makes his intentions and feelings very clear. We are faced with a man whose heart is ravished with despair. Freeze is depressed, as he is grieving his wife and trying to cope with the emptiness of the loss. The harm further inflicted on him simply pushed him to the extreme.
My God.
yes. It would move me to tears if I still had tears to shed.
At first glance, Freeze comes off as cold-blooded, and that is because that is how he wants to be perceived. Freeze wants to come off as emotionless, being very matter-of-fact, showing no compunction, and gives no mercy. All he can see is his hurt.
Take it easy, man. I got you.
Leave him. He should have been more careful. Now he's paid the price for his incompetence.
But he's one of us.
Then perhaps you'd like to share his fate.
Don't leave me! Please! Please! Come back! Oh.
I saw what happened to your wife. I'm sorry.
I'm beyond emotions. They've been frozen dead in me.
Either from denial or simply as a means to embody the monster he was physically turned into, Freeze chooses to behave cold-heartedly, but that is not his nature. Not only is he a doting, tender-hearted, whispering sweet nothings, lowercase romantic.
Thank you. You beg? In my nightmares, I see my Nora behind the glass, begging to me with frozen eyes.
Mr. Freeze takes after the 18th century Romantic era school of thought. As much as he claims to be a stoic, Mr. Freeze embodies the romantic movement in the shared emphasis on intense emotion as a genuine source of beauty.
This is how I'll always remember you. Surrounded by winter, forever young, forever beautiful. Rest well, my love. The monster who took you from me will soon learn that revenge is a dish best served cold.
Got to pay back. Revenge.
Freeze was a victim, but through vengeance, he believes he can reclaim his power. He had the means to save his wife, but hesitated to use the power to stop them. But now, after suffering his loss, there is nothing stopping him from using his power to make them pay. The guilt of failing to save his wife's life compounds the emptiness of losing her, and the only way he feels he can achieve redemption is through revenge.
Personal commitment to the community.
Inspirational words from Gotham's Humanitarian Industrialist of the Year.
Humanity, compassion, charity. Where were those pretty words when she needed to hear them?
Once looking to help humanity, with his heart now frozen, he is desensitized and unsympathetic to society that allowed harm to befall him. The motive of revenge is expressing pure emotion, mostly rage, spite, and hatred intended to dispense harm. Revenge is so impassioned, the retaliation is typically disproportionate to the original injury.
Tonight I mean to pay back the man who ruined my life. Our lives.
Even if you have to kill everyone in the building to do it.
I'm mad!
Think of it, Batman. To never again walk on a summer's day with a hot wind in your face and a warm hand to hold. Oh yes, I'd kill for that.
But where does it end?
Can't end this way. Vengeance.
No. Justice. A year ago, Ferris Boyle interrupted an experiment, and in the process destroyed 2 lives.
Freeze would agree that for those who believe it is better to have love and lost than never to have loved at all, have never truly been in love. A man cannot seek justice which is defined as conforming to truth, fact, or reason. When he has experienced the euphoric expression of love, then have it taken to be left only with the feeling of anguish, because to him, to accept that idea of never having that elation again is madness. Every lover is, in his heart, a madman.